There are things that you can actually control, like title tags, H1 and so on, you can control it. But something like the index, the number of pages in the main index,
Yep.
You can see, okay, from that it could be better, but what can you do to improve on that? What sorts of things can you do?
One thing you can do is make the content on those pages more relevant and more visible.
Better internal linking.
Better internal links to those pages. Yep. Yep. More signposting to those pages.
I like everyone else didn't hear the question.
How would you get more of your pages actually into the Google main index? So you might do some of these tweaks on your title page and your H1 page, on your H1 tag and that sort of thing, but how would you actually go and get more pages into the main index?
It's really a factor of two things. It is total number of links, but critically also the number of deep links you get.
Yep.
So if you do a site and you get every single link to the home page, you won't get a lot of new pages into the main index. If you get a good spread of deep links, 30%, 40%, perhaps half, you get a much better result in terms of main index representation.
Yeah, as one of the things that we actually did point out with the number of links that they had, that the links that were actually the pages they were being linked to weren't the home page. They were other pages within the site. They were product relevant pages. So if it was a blog article about diamond necklaces, it was actually linking to the section called diamond necklaces. So the content was relevant on both sides.
Would you be able to, would you be able to tell if the site had sort of done this well, no matter how well they carry their PR throughout the site? So if they've got PR for homepage, but they have a PR in a category pages, then they wouldn't really have too many deep links. Whereas if they carry the PR well throughout the site, we'd be able to see that one of your competitors was sort of working it better.
At the moment.
Yeah, I mean the PR flow is partly deep links and it's partly how you structure your own navigation. Okay, when you have a sort of what I call a universal one, so you have a big drop down of flat navigation and all the main pages link to each other, or whether you go for that hierarchical thing. I mean,
Just this, the one they all slide down into each other.
it depends how many products you've got. I mean, if you're dealing with 30,000, 80,000 products, you clearly can't go with that approach. If you've got, I don't know how many products you've got on the site. So you've got to go to some sort of category approach.
Otherwise, you recommend having a drop down.
I think if you've sort of got under 100 pages, if it's your sort of site where you're just a service, a range of services, some sort of universal system really works best.
Okay, so coming away from this, kind of put 5 points together, things that you can do to start to improve your position. One of the things is for a lot of us, to actually be realistic about what we can achieve for the key phrases that we're trying to chase. Make sure that the goals that we're setting are achievable. Don't go up against organizations like Nokia or whoever for things like key phrases like mobile phones and try to achieve those unrealistic key phrases. Organizations like that have marketing departments of 10, 20, 30 people that go and do this on a daily basis. You might not have the manpower to do that, or the budget to do that. So kind of be realistic about what your key phrases are. Do your keyword research, and if you aren't confident in doing it yourself, come to daughter and ask her to give you a hand. I'm giving you lots of work here. Give you a hand in actually identifying what key phrases might be the right key phrases for you.
Track the work now, daughter.
Oh, that's a good point. I haven't checked that.
Okay. Try to get yourself listed in directories that your competitors are listing themselves in. Relevant, rich, keyword-rich directories that you'll be able to get links from into your own website. Be on top of your stats. Make sure that you've got a Google Analytics account. Make sure you've got a Google Webmaster Tools account. Any other SEO tools that you use, make sure you've got those tools available to you. And my key one is always create yourself a schedule for measuring and tracking your performance within Google. Don't go away from here and decide to spend the day doing it and then never look at it again. Never look at your website's SEO again. Go in and make sure that you have a regular schedule that you adhere to, and you basically go in and follow up on checking checking your stats, checking your keywords, and checking your rankings, because you want to keep on top of what's actually happening with Google. Google's changing its, having changed its search engine algorithms and that sort of thing, making sure that you know where you are consistently throughout the year. Would you like to add anything to that and come up front?
I would just, I think, put number 6 on, which is don't do everything at once.
Yeah.
If you make all your changes simultaneously, you then have no idea what's caused you either to leap towards the top
or fall down
like a stone. I went to see a couple of people who were on my course 6 months ago on Monday. They have 300 websites, and I did suggest to them it was perhaps not a good idea to host them all on the same server and do the link them. I went to see them because they'd suddenly gone from quite good positions for all 300 sites to nowhere. And I said, well, what have you done? He said, I only took a few graphics off and this and the other. And then about an hour later, when we really got to the bottom of it, he had removed all the interlinking. And none of them had a single inbound link to support where they were. So they've just gone for the time being. But if you do things in isolation, wait a week, 10 days is normally the length of time that you know you're safe, you haven't destroyed anything, and then do the next change. So if you get a reorder of code, for example, do that while you're not doing other things on the site.
Definitely.
You know something about linking, buying links?
Yeah.
Obviously you can buy a load of rubbish, but how do you, if you haven't got time to approach all these organisations, how do you get some sort of decent links?
The question's on buying links.
Buying links. The Google particularly has a very sort of, shall we say, self-serving attitude about links, in that it decided it couldn't upset Yahoo over the Yahoo directory, which is essentially a purchase link directory where you pay $300 a year. So long as you buy links and what you're paying for is a qualitative review of your site, you're safe in the eyes of the search engines, okay? Which means that I think probably the best thing to do is really head for some of the better featured directories, so Yahoo, Best of the Web, things like that for your link buying. What you don't want is your links to appear on the sidebars of lots of quite low quality sites under things which say sponsored, and below it says buy a link here, $5 a month, forever. I could point you in the direction of the site which will give you an idea about where to find some of the better ones.
You generally get what you pay for.
Yeah. And also try and look to at least getting the sort of key ones in the country where you're trying to rank. So there's some quite good UK directories, UK directories.
If you have £500 to spend, would you spend that on improving your key phrases, or would you spend it on buying links?
Improving, you mean?
Would you spend it on the site, or would you spend it on buying?
I spend it on an optimization expert.
£500. I think I would do the on-page things first.
Yeah.
When Bjorn was talking about, look at those all-in anchor measures and all-in title measures, if you do those and there are less than 40,000 results for that parameter, you've got a good chance of getting quite a long way with on-page stuff only. Okay. So if that's the case, work on, certainly do your page titles and your H1s before you spend your money on buying links.